right. Some real shit for you niggas. Check it out.
Am I weak or am I strong? Can my mind carry me on? I'm striving to get this money, but cowards say that it's on. Who am I not to do me, nigga, and get it on? I'm striving to get this money, but cowards say that it's on.
I'm having dreams of my enemies killing me, cause the way I be chasing my currency and dealing with bitches who work on their knees. The piece of young G, so I don't sleep, cause I got seed to feed. So I take no dose and ride with calicos and 44s. Made me a sick individual, mind of a criminal, acts of a serial killer, nigga. Don't let me get at you, gotta get this money, nigga. I'll be damned if I'm bummy while laughing at you niggas getting this cake. You niggas fake, shoot the A out the cake. So what can I say? These brain niggas don't play. R.I.P. A-Wall, screaming fuck all y'all gon' stand tall.
Am I weak or am I strong? Can my mind carry me on? I'm striving to get this money, but cowards say that it's on. Who am I not to do me, nigga, and get it on? I'm striving to get this money, but cowards say that it's on. Am I weak or am I strong? Can my mind carry?
Yep, this is LTA, your boy Doe.
What up, Doe, man? It's fire, man. Let's get to it. Another discussion in the books. What's going down?
Man, I can't call it, man. Shit, what you got for us today?
Man, I had a heavy topic, man. You know what I'm saying? It was the what really holds us back conversation.
Hold us back from what?
Just success, man. Just success. Like some of the things that hold us back, you know what I mean, from actually becoming the people that we are destined to be. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, we come from, you know, ain't no telling where we came from, really. You know what I'm saying? We come from somewhere, but we here. And we, you know, descendants of slaves, descendants of, you know, indigenous people that were dark-skinned on this planet, you know what I mean, on this continent. You know what I'm saying? We fit in somewhere with that. I don't know where, but, you know, we got to get to our destined space. You know what I'm saying? And we sometimes hold ourselves back, you know? And when I think about it, the real thing is like, conversation came up, and I'm going to try to be as candid as possible. No disrespect to nobody out there, you know what I'm saying, in the world, but the resources are available for us to actually get ahead.
Right.
Would you agree with that, or say, nah, you know?
No, resources is definitely there. I mean, I don't know if you even say just flat out like, yeah, the word resources, they're there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Money can't, you know, money is available. It's a lot of stuff that's available for us to make progress, but for some odd reason, we haven't been able to make progress. You know what I'm saying? It's something that's holding us back as a culture. Like, we got individuals that make it, you know what I mean? Individuals that's focused and, you know what I mean, they driven into their purpose and they, you know, make the most out of their individual life. But as a whole, it doesn't seem the same. Now maybe that could be from a northerner's perspective, because I don't know what the neighborhoods of like down south look like. I've never been to a Black Beverly Hills. I mean, we go through a couple of the malls out there, but like actually seeing that on a regular basis is kind of rare.
Well, what holds us back as a whole, as a people, is what we always say. We all know what that is. Like systematic.
Systematic racism?
Yeah, systematic oppression, you know, I mean, far as a people as a whole.
Right.
So you have a lot of things you got to take in consideration with that, like far as the whole Willie Lynch letter.
Yeah, Willie Lynch definitely
regardless if it's a real letter or not, but the whole concept of the letter is exactly what it is now. So make us hate each other.
Make us hate each other.
Make the men go against the women. The kids against the Dawson, blah blah blah.
The
Dark against the light, and blah blah blah. Right?
It's a problem.
So you take every generation. We had the strongest the black people been in America is what, like around like the 50s, I think it was. We had the most dads in the house. You know what I'm saying? Right before the whole
pre-civil rights era.
Right before the whole welfare and kicking the dad out the house BS and all that shit, right?
And that's something that I wanted to kind of touch on, because to a certain extent we played a hand in that too. You know what I'm saying? Because before the civil rights era, we had legitimate communities.
Yeah.
We were developing wealth. We were learning how to live within a society that really ultimately never had a place for us to try to succeed in. You know what I'm saying? So like,
but that's the thing though. So what I was gonna say is you have every time we do have some kind of structure like that, it's something that happens where they cheat to win the game. You know what I mean? Like we always keep talking about.
Let's talk about they.
You know,
who is the they?
The systematic racism.
Systematic racism.
So that goes, that's the judges, the police, the Congress, and everybody that's in power.
Yeah.
It's a trickle down effect. And that's why they used to wear the white sheets. I was telling my coworker that he acted like he didn't understand. I'm like, that's why they used to wear the white sheets. For you didn't know that they was your police officers. For you didn't know that they was your teachers, and all that.
The sheriff, and the veterinarians, and the firemen. The thing about it, right, is like we get all these resources knowing that we are, in a system that is designed to fail us.
Right.
So we know that going into the door that the system is designed to fail us. We know that, a lot of things have been set against us to where once we actually start making progress, things happen. The sad part about it is that when I started to really reflect on what has been holding us back from making that progress, I kind of look in the mirror first, you know what I'm saying,
right,
with myself and say, okay, there's certain things that I should do to make sure that I'm not holding myself back. But then it's individuals in the world that will attempt to hold you back just simply because they don't agree with it being you, or you trying to make progress. So the people around us are trying to bring us back. Individuals that look like us will try to hold us back because we're so busy trying to compete with one another for the resources that are now being given to us post-civil rights versus us learning how to develop our own resources as it was pre-civil rights.
See, I think all that's coming into swing now because of the internet. Once people are more connected now, when people are reaching out to people and able to do this, blah 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 blah. Before that, though, as of right now, we asking why, like, what is it about the people as of right now, as a whole?
As a whole.
Now, individually, like you said, we're gonna have our own wins, and we could point at a bunch of like even millionaires and billionaires or whatever, blah blah blah. But as a whole, though,
we kind of losing.
Of course, yeah, we are.
As a whole, we're losing right now, and it's not like we trying to win a race or nothing like that. We're not in a competition with nobody, but we are losing amongst ourselves. You know what I mean? And when I like, and it's not anybody from any other neighborhood. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we got all of these powers and entities that stacked against us. But those entities are not existent in our immediate areas. And instead of us focusing our energy on bettering our situation, we constantly looking for people that's not from our area to give us money to take care of our own area, when we should be trying to generate the funds to take care of our area on our own. It's the weirdest thing.
But see, that's the thing though. We cannot sit there and there is individual groups and stuff that do that. You know what I mean? But we're speaking as a whole. Is what we're talking about as in general. And like I said, every time we did as a people get somewhere, it's been something where they did where we can name a bunch of stuff. Oklahoma, we could name Tulsa ain't the only place. I can't think of all the cities offhand. But as far as just that goes, Tulsa.
But pre-civil rights, it was a presence of them, of like the racists actually coming and destroying those foundations. Before civil rights, it was the racist individuals that came into the communities to destroy it. Right. Post-civil rights, we are destroying our own shit.
Oh no, it's still a whole bunch.
I mean, they come through.
I'll give you a couple examples. No, I'll give you a couple examples. See, it's deeper than just, you know what I'm saying? It's deeper than just the physical going to burn down a whole
burning
neighborhood, right?
And chasing kids.
You got stuff like this. Look at the documentary just came out. Y'all could Google. I forget the name of this stuff offhand like that, but it was about, you know how they say, well, black women wear all the weave. Why don't they own more of the hair shops and stuff, right? The government cut off the ability for black people to own a bunch of hair shops, they gave it to the Asians.
But the thing is,
you know what I mean?
that
So stuff like that behind the scenes.
Inside, what makes us or what makes the women from our community look towards Asian women to help them define how they should look, or for them, for the Western world to decide what is acceptable for them. Like, these sisters don't have to run in and wear weave. I don't got nothing against it. You know, they love switching up the wigs. You know what I mean? They play with the wigs, all these type of stuff with the braids. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, what extent do we have to, you know, not love ourselves to look for somebody else's culture to supply us with something that's supposed to make us look good?
But that's what I'm saying. We don't. The reason why we look towards them the most is because we don't have
the stores.
It's because they got stores. But that's a government thing that made it like that. That was what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
To a certain extent.
Now hold up. Now far as like all that, like looking for define how you look from them, blah blah. I don't agree with that. You know what I mean? All that. Do what you do, but we do like more natural than that. But I don't got nothing against. You know, it is what it is.
But it brings up a wonderful topic. What is holding the sisters in our neighborhood back from being able to open their own stores?
I'm telling you right now. That's what I'm telling you. Now it's loosening up now a little bit because, like I said, the internet now, people are able to be their own boss in a snap of a finger. You know what I mean? So it's getting a little different. And now, don't get me wrong, they're figuring that stuff out too. They're starting to cut a lot of that stuff out too now.
Suppliers,
like you think
you
finna just get over here and make all this money and we don't get nothing, don't say?
Yeah.
They're finding ways to try to cut that too. But
taxes.
But at the end of the day, they can't stop it. When you got your own shit that you could create, you know, it's hard to stop that. But we're speaking as of why we're this way right now as a whole.
Right now. So,
and that's because of what happened. So we're trying to climb up out of that, but
how do we get ahead? Does the metaphor the metaphor of the crab in the barrel kick in? Like, if we are all like trying to move ahead, like, why can't we support one another in moving ahead?
See, we got
that's the issue. That's the issue that I'm kind of dealing with right now. It's like we have a community of people, right? So it's not just me and Doe for Let's Talk About It. It's a community around Let's Talk About It. Individuals that want to check in our neighborhoods. It's a community where individuals should want to, you know, see other individuals do well. But
we got to start giving up the game too, though. We be holding shit to our chest, though, man. People be talking all that black power shit,
like,
but when it comes to it, a lot of people want to be the only though. No, and that's just real.
No. The thing,
a lot of people be want to be.
And you're right. A lot of people want to be the only. So what happens is, instead of everybody building and wrapping and making the rope tighter, everybody wants to deviate from the solid goal. Right? So we know that it's a solid goal that needs to happen. We know that this is put in place so that we can establish some form of forward momentum, right? But now we make forward momentum, and what happens is everybody that's around isn't worried about the forward momentum of a consistent movement. They worrying about which way they can go. How can they do it? Why can't I do it? Why can't we? And then the thing is, it's like at some point we have to look at it like it's all of us doing it. If we can't look at it and be like, okay, Sammy's has a restaurant on Broadway in Emerson. That's not just Sammy's restaurant, right?
Well, it depends.
That's the community's restaurant, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, open the door. It's bigger than just opening the doors and giving the game. It's actually supporting things that are actually happening. What would happen if somebody decided, okay, well, Sammy across the street selling his sandwiches, I'm going to go across the street and sell the sandwiches that I want to sell right across the street from Sammy's. Competition is good.
They do that all the time.
Businesses,
McDonald's and
Burger King got billions of dollars
and they started off, though, at poor across the street from each other.
They got billions of dollars to split.
But that's now they do.
And the other part about McDonald's and Burger King is that their communities are going to support both of them. Yeah. Our communities are barely able to support
those stores are in
one.
the community though. That's where they came up from, the community.
But they have fiscal support in regards to funding, and not only that, but they have the support of the broader masses. So not only are there restaurants in our community, but those restaurants are also in Egan and Schaumburg.
Well, that's now though. You know how they started. I'm pretty sure everybody's seen the movie.
And when the one started, how many individuals wrapped around that to make sure that they came to life?
They're not a lot at all.
I bet they had a whole team that brought that to life. They knocked off the man that created it.
The two brothers. It was two brothers, and the inventor dude, the dude that was just always trying to sell shit to them. He came in and they started hustling.
Was able to manipulate it.
They start hustling to people that's buying franchises. But they came together, put their money together, and they was giving the game up. Here, you want a McDonald's? Do you have this much money? Here, bam. You know what I'm saying?
But that takes time, right? I mean, that takes time. So at some point, we have to be willing to say, you know what? Let's support what's happening right here so that we can see this grow, right? Instead of us wanting to do that, we say, why should I support them when I can go do this? And that's where a lot of our problems lie.
See, and that's messed up if somebody feel like they got to stop supporting somebody else because they get theirs. Why wouldn't they support each other?
Why wouldn't our community, we know we are lacking when it comes to support.
Yeah,
we are lacking when it comes to
because people don't trust each other, man.
Integrity and honor, we lacking. So at some point, we have to say, future only. Moving forward, this is how it should look. This is what we need to do. This is how we need to come together. And what happens is in that rush to flourishing, everybody is able to grow, right? Everybody grows, but instead of us following that mindset, we don't look at each other as like, okay, we supposed to work together. We look at each other like, okay, I'm just supposed to work with this person, or I'm just supposed to do this right now, but then, I want to do this and I want to do that, and then it deviates from the structure of what really needs to happen. And when that happens, like in all honesty, when that happens, productivity goes low. The real mission that is needed for our community is like not heard, because there's so much influx of everyone wanting to go their own way. And there's nothing wrong with that, but we have to understand that the progress that is needed for us in this time and age, we got to be able to support each other at a level that has been unmatched.
Yeah, you support each other, but we all know this though. If you're starting something with somebody or whatever, however it goes, when you started something, if you want people to be involved, you got to give them not like a reason to be involved, but it's all about, okay, if I'm starting something, if I'm saying, hey man, I'm finna put this motherfucking this business together, towel business.
Right.
I'm not telling nobody to come watch me start this without them being cut in.
Everybody cut in.
You know what I mean? Like they gotta be cut in. I wouldn't tell them to come watch me start this towel company without them being cut in.
Everybody has to get cut in. Like, it has to be a moment of like transparency where everything is put on the boards. You know what I mean? Everything from every dollar to every penny is accounted for and shown to everybody that's involved. That's the way things grow, because now you're developing a financial standpoint where everybody's like, okay, this is what we're doing. All right, shit, this bringing in some dough. You know what I'm saying? Then you can be like, okay. I mean, it's just like, I'm only